Hello， 大家好，欢迎收看本期的跑酷大世界。本期嘉宾是一位大家非常熟悉的跑酷王子 Damien， 他曾经是英国的体操队成员，在欧洲他的名气家喻户晓。他把体操技能和跑酷融合了到一起，拍摄了几部完美的作品。我相信大家都应该看过他的视频。他还参与了很多电影的提升、动作拍摄。今天我们就走进他的世界，看看训练之外的他。Welcome to the wonderful world of Damien Walters.
Hi, my name's Damien Walters.
Hi, and you are a gymnast. So what first got you involved in gymnastics?
To be honest, I used to watch it on TV, and then I watched that and I realised that it was something I really sort of liked the look of. And then it was basically, I used to throw myself around in the grass, and then there was no such thing as parkour, free or anything like that when I was little. So, because I used to throw myself on the grass, and Mum would see me and just go, okay, I think I'll take you to gymnastics. So Mum took me to gymnastics classes, and that was it really.
So how old about were you when you first started?
I was 7 years old when I first started.
7 years old, so you've been a gymnast for a long time now.
A long time.
So what's given you the motivation to carry on?
I don't know, basically, I mean, my main motivation throughout my entire career was to be world champion at Gymnastics. That's all I ever wanted to be. And like I said, I just used to train and train and train, and I started competing for Great Britain when I was about 17, 18. And because the progression just kept getting better and better, it just sort of gave you different goals to aim for. So I just aimed for something else, and then hopefully try and achieve that, and then aim for something else, and then aim for something else. And like I say, my main thing was always just to be world champion, which we was world champion as a team in 2003. So, and then I was World Cup champion in 2004. And from then, it was kind of, I didn't really know what to do with myself. I just thought that would be my entire career, just keep going and going and going. And then from then, I started doing a lot more of the trick side, and then making YouTube videos and all that sort of thing. And then actually filming my first YouTube video, got given the opportunity to be in the film, and that's kind of where I was really. I just thought I'd take each day by day.
Because you're a gymnast, but also a free runner. So to you, what would you say are the similarities or differences between the two?
The similarities is, well, obviously the acrobatic side is very similar. You know, you've got to have balance, flexibility, coordination. You know, all of those things help. You know, both disciplines. But the difference is, I always found that when I was a gymnast, that it was very much one-dimensional. You twisted this way, you somersaulted this way, and everything was such a fixed way of doing it. And that to me was great as a basis. You know what I mean? As for me, like I say, when I was little, growing up, it was a very good basis of this is how you do things, right? Which made my technique get very good. But I always felt limited in the fact that I wanted to try different things. I wanted to try and see if I could twist this way, see if I could somersault this way. So I wanted to experiment a lot more, which my coaches didn't want me to do because the risk of getting injury and all that sort of thing. That was my job, was to be paid for gymnastics. So it was always like when I was training on my own, I'd try and experiment with different things. I always found it a lot more interesting. So as soon as I, got in the gym myself, I'd just throw different moves and that sort of stuff and try and think about what I could do. And I always found that a little bit more interesting. So that for me is the main difference between gymnastics and free running. And I think there's room to do both. You know what I mean? There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do both. In my first opinion.
So it's the creativity. And you are very creative. You even showed us earlier that there was a move that you created. Have you made a lot of different moves?
I try to, yeah. And it's basically, you'll see something and have an idea for another move, or I'll try something that doesn't quite work out, and then something, or I'll just be sat there and think, oh, this move could work. It's basically, just trying whatever you think could actually happen, or whatever idea you have in your head, just give it a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you never know what will happen after that. So.
And how much do you train? Like, how often do you train a week?
I train pretty much every day.
Every day. And how much time do you spend roughly?
Well, it depends. On average, I would say about 3 to 4 hours.
About 3 to 4 hours. Is there a specific area you like to focus on, or?
Not really. I mean, since I got into stunts, now I have to do a variety of things. Really, I do the acrobatic side, the tumbling, the boxing, the kickboxing, all the different martial arts. I try to do as much as possible, really, just to be mostly as well rounded as I can be for as a stuntman. That's my main job, is to be so. Yeah, so.
Was that ever, because it's quite dangerous as well, free running, being a stuntman, gymnastics, it can be quite dangerous. Have you ever had an injury?
I've had lots of injuries.
Lots of injuries.
Yeah,
Any serious injury, or they are quite small injuries?
No, quite serious ones, yeah.
Oh, you've had serious ones as well?
Yeah, I've dislocated this ankle twice.
Ooh.
I've dislocated both shoulders. In one go, I did my foot and my knee at the same time.
No.
Yeah, that was a good one. Collarbone.
Wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, lots of head injuries. And because the main reason is because I like to push as far as I can go.
Yeah.
I like to push as far as I can go, and obviously at that point you're on such a fine line between success and failure when you push into your absolute limit. Is that sometimes it will go wrong. There's no denying that. There's no trying to pretend that doesn't happen. Sometimes it will go wrong. You've got to be, especially as a stuntman, you learn to accept that you are going to get injured. That's your job. Obviously in free running gymnastics, you try and limit that as much as possible. Even in stunt work, you limit that as much as possible. But I'm afraid it's inevitable. That's going to happen at some point. So the sooner you accept that, and the thing is, you'll find that the sooner you accept it, then the less chance you will actually get of injuring yourself, because you're not scared then. Yeah?
Yeah.
When you find that you're scared of the move, then it becomes a little bit more, it plays on your mind a bit more, and you've got more chances of hurting yourself then. Whereas if you just accept the fact that, be more confident with the moves, be more confident with everything else, you'll find you don't get injured as much.
You are an amazing gymnast, an amazing free runner, and what our viewers would like to hear a bit more about is, do you have any tips on jumping higher or flipping higher?
Jumping higher and flipping higher. Well, like I said to you before, my honest tip for anything really is technique. The more you can think about technique, and my biggest tip to anybody would be, the more you can understand the move, the more you break the move down and figure out what it actually is that makes that move work, the better it is for you. You can go in a gym and just throw a move and throw a move and throw a move and hope it gets better. Yeah, and that'll work to a certain extent. But until you realise that, okay, I need to change this, I need to change this, and if I change this, this will happen. And then the more I change, the better I'll get. And then you experiment with different things. So the more you try and understand the move you're doing, the better you'll get. It's like, for instance, when I was telling you about, if I take off and I throw my head down,
yeah,
my body's going to go down. Yeah, and you have to understand it. It's very simple, like that. And all gymnastics is very simple. All free running, gymnastics, tumbling, acrobatics, it's all very simple stuff. But when you're upside down, it doesn't feel simple. And when you're trying to do things with your body thinks that it's not simple. But it is, and you've just got to understand and think, okay, right, let's forget this end move, take it back a step, yeah? And I think, okay, to get this move, I need to start here, I go this move, this, until I get to this, yeah? So I set the preparation, and I make sure everything's right.
How do you exactly go about breaking down the moves? For a lot of people, we might watch a move and say, wow, that was so fast. How do I break the move down? How do I find these steps?
For me, when I was a young kid, I used to video everything. And the lucky thing that you guys have got now is that YouTube is available.
YouTube.
It was never available when I'm 30 years old now. When I was younger, I never had the luxury of videoing things, so I used to go to all the competitions and I used to watch people. I used to take my video camera and I'd video everybody and try and slow the moves down and figure out what they were looking at, what their eyes saw, what their arms did, where their head was, and I'd try and figure out everything that they were doing. And it took me a lot longer to learn things because I had to break everything down on my own. But because I did it that way, I feel that it's helped me as a person in the future now. Like, I find moves to actually understand moves, I find it a lot easier now, and I find it a lot easier to teach people because I can understand, oh, you're not looking at this, so I need to figure out a way to make you look at this, or I need to figure out a way to make you understand what you're doing wrong. And that's what I do with, like I say, I coach little gymnasts, so I try and make it as simple as possible for people to understand. But it's one of those things that if you haven't got that luxury of somebody telling you, then you have got to get yourself, video. And try and slow things down and make sure you know what the person's feeling about.
That's a very good tip, so keep that in mind. Film everything you can, or if you can't find any of the free runners that can do moves that you want to do, you can go online, download the videos, slow it down. Okay, thank you very much for that. And we're based in China. Most of our viewers are Chinese free runners. So what we'd like to know is, have you ever been to China before?
I have, yes. I've been to China twice.
Twice?
Yes.
So where did you go in China?
I went to Beijing.
Beijing?
I've got to make sure I say this right, because every time I say it, I get it wrong. Xi'an.
Xi'an, yeah,
Xi'an.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Xi'an.
Xi'an.
And was that for films or?
It was once for work and one was for pleasure.
Which one was for pleasure?
The Beijing one.
The Beijing one. Where did you go in Beijing? Any nice places?
I went to a couple of nice places. Yeah, I went to the Great Wall, which is obviously, you know, a must. I went to a lot of different places like the old Olympic stadiums and all that sort of stuff.
Did you go to some of the palaces?
I did. I went to Building Palace. I went to I've got a lot of different places. It was a lovely place. I do actually like China.
Do you have any plans coming back to China?
I do, yes. Hopefully I should be doing a movie soon, because most of my stunt team are from China. And one of my best friends is a Chinese director.
And what movie are you working on now?
At the minute I'm not working on any movie. I've just finished a movie with a comedian called Simon Pegg. Before that I was doing Skyfall, which was James Bond.
Skyfall, yeah.
But at the minute I've had a bit of time off because I had a couple of job offers, but I turned them down because I've just bought a new house. So yeah, and I found I had a bit. When you're working on a film, you can't train as much as what you want to. So I've had like 3 years of just solid work. I've been trying to fit training in as much as possible. But now I decided that I want 6 months off so I can train more, get back to fitness and enjoy life a little bit.
So you've been in a lot of films and doing stunt work. You've been in Hellboy 2, Ninja Assassin, Skyfall, what you said earlier. Which one did you find the most interesting?
The most interesting, definitely Hellboy 2.
Hellboy 2, why is that?
It was my first film.
It was your first film?
Yeah, it was my first ever film. Everything was new to me, And at that point, I was, like I said before, I was competing for Great Britain Gymnastics in Tunbridge, and that was my job. I had a phone call from a guy called Brad Allen, who was Jackie Chan's leading stunt coordinator at the time, and he called me up and he said, "Oh, I'd like you to be in a movie," and I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was a joke because I'd put a video on YouTube when it was 2005 when YouTube first became available, so the internet was just kicking off. And then I put a video on, and then literally 2 months later, he called me up and he said, "Oh, I'd like you to be in a movie." And I honestly thought it was my friend. I thought it was my friend joking around. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay." So I thought he was joking. I said, "When is the film?" And he was like, "Okay, I want you to come over in 2 weeks." And I said, "Okay, what's the film called?" And the film's called Hellboy 2. And I still thought it was a joke. And I was like, "Okay, bye now." And he was just like, "What?" And then I said, "Is this serious?" And he was like, "I'm always serious." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, I didn't realise. I thought it was a joke." And then, within 2 weeks, I went out, did the film with him, and that's the first time I met my team. Like I say, a lot of Chinese people on my team. Sort of got to know those. And then I honestly thought that would be it. I thought I'd do the film, go home, and then that would be it. I'd just carry on training. And then he rang me up again a few months later and said, "Oh, I like the way you work. I'd like to bring you back and be the next film." And I was like, "Okay," so I did the next film. And then he said, "I like the way you work, would you want to be part of the team?" And that was it. I just became part of the team and went from film to film to film. That was it really.
That's amazing. So did you actually get to meet Jackie Chan?
I haven't met him. No, it was because like I say, it was his coordinator who was doing Hellboy 2. But yeah, and he said, he speaks very highly of him, so one day I'll do it.
One day, definitely. I can see that. And to know a little bit more about Damien, I've got a couple of questions. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I think it would be to be able to teleport.
To teleport?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Teleport, but how would you teleport? Just a normal teleport, or would it be like a teleport into like a flip, or?
Well, it'd be anything, wouldn't it?
Anything,
I could do anything. I could do a flip
anything.
and then teleport at the same time. Disappear.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best one.
Okay, and when you're training, is there a certain type of music you like to listen to?
To be honest, I like all kinds of music. It all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I like every single music you can think of: R&B, drum and bass, dubstep, classical, anything. It depends on what sort of mood I'm in.
Do you have any favourite music artists then? Maybe perhaps?
No one in particular. It all depends on what mood I'm in. Yeah, a bit of everything really.
Do you have any other hobbies apart from gymnastics and free running?
Other hobbies? Yeah, I do a lot of different sports. Like I said before, I do boxing, kickboxing, I play golf, I play football, play table tennis.
Wow, you do a lot.
I do, yeah, anything you can think of, I
realise
try and play. Volleyball, basketball, I try and play anything that keeps me interested really.
Do you have any final message you'd like to give to our Chinese free runners?
Final message would be, when I come over to China, I'm hoping to train with everybody. Yeah, so we get a big little training scheme together, and we'll train together and have a nice time.
So we definitely all welcome you from China.
I hope so, because I'm coming soon.
Okay, so thank you very much, Damien Walters, and that's all from us today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye bye.
看完了 Damien 的采访，你们是不是更了解他呢？在生活中，他也是一个很幽默的人。希望他可以早点来到中国，跟更多的跑酷爱好者交流。我们节目也会一直关注他的。好，更多跑酷资讯，请关注我们 TNT 跑酷俱乐部官方微博。我们下期再见，拜拜。